And good morning, Central Alabama. Jason Green here, along with the handsome, dapper Mike Ellison for today's version of Morning Mayhem. We're looking forward to a great day right here as we take the ride with you into work. It's 7:01 in the a.m. We thank you for joining us. If you looked outside this morning and haven't had quite the courage to step outside, not as cold, Mike, as it has been, but there's a cold rain that's already started in the area.
That's right, Jason. I saw that it was about 47 on my television this morning up in Birmingham, and then but the ride down for me was 41 almost all the way. So that's pretty chilly to me, but it has been wet, and I think we're going to get a little bit more of that spotty rain today.
Probably. So Mike had a little trouble getting into the work this morning. Had a little run-in with the police.
I wish you wouldn't bring that up.
He got pulled over, and he was driving, and the cop walks up to the window and goes, you know, can I see your license and registration? He did all that. And Mike, you told me that he asked you if you knew why he pulled him over, and you said you thought you were speeding. Well, the cop, I thought it was pretty smart. He said, no, sir, you were actually driving too slow. He said, what did the last sign say? And Mike told him it said 31.
31.
And he said, no, sir, that's a road sign. That's not a speed limit sign. And Mike said, well, I'm glad you caught me before I got to 155. So he made it through his run-in with the police. Last time I was here, Dollar Bill had one, and now Mike's had one this morning. So we're glad that he is here.
Checked so I can read
We're
the
glad
entire
that he's
sign.
here. Well, you know, I know who you're married to, so I would drive slowly away from home if it were me, too, because you married up, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. I talk a lot about Renette on the show. You know, we food and culinary things that she's well known for, and I really have a great time with Treese. And by the way, we miss you, Treese. I hope you're out there eventually watching us, but we wish you were here and hope you're feeling better this morning.
I really don't miss you at all, Treese, but I'm glad. Hopefully, you're watching and you've got over the. Somebody said that she had the rhinovirus, so I'm waiting for the horn to grow in.
The horn to grow in.
Yeah, she's, bless her heart. She's a cute lady, but I don't know that the horn's going to work for her, Mike.
There's a couple of little things that kind of protrude. Never mind. I don't know if I need to go there or not, but.
You know, one of those old prehistoric viruses, the Stegosaurus virus, those humps grow in your back, too, so. I mean, if she's got the rhinovirus and the Stegosaurus virus, we're prehistoric. I mean, we're talking pre-comet striking the Earth stuff. So go get you some NyQuil. That'll knock it right out. Or your favorite whatever over-the-counter stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Because don't expect doctors to give you any medicine that's actually going to make you better anymore.
Well, listen, it's 7:04. I'd like to mention our sponsors and thank them, Jason. We have Chilton Mobile Home Supply, Julie Hoderfield Agency, Country Financial Insurance, Central Alabama Wellness, Larry Puckett's Chevrolet, Putter Up, Wood Surfside Marina, and This and That Vinyl.
Hey, the Putter Up place is pretty cool. I don't know if you've been through Pelham, but they've taken that old Valley Elementary School right on 31, right across from where the old tractor place used to be.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen that.
And it is an unbelievable facility. So there's some really great restaurants there as well. All kinds of different little odd and end shops. But Putter Up is taken over the back side of that facility. And it's a miniature golf. There's a lot of other things that go on there. It is a fantastic facility. So, folks, go by and do some business with Putter Up. It is a very unique. You remember back in the day, used to have putt-putt golf.
Oh, yes, I do.
Did you ever watch professional putt-putt golf on television?
I must admit that I did. I was always impressed with someone could shoot, you know, a 23, you know, on a 18-hole course.
By the time I'm 3 holes into miniature golf, I've already thrown my club at the windmill. I'm done. I'm tired of it. So, but I love to play, but just for about 3 holes before I get frustrated.
Do you ever go to Panama City Beach?
Yes. Yep.
You remember where the old or the former amusement park was located? It was just up from that. I guess that would be west. Was and still is there. Is why I'm bringing it up. A putt-putt golf course with the dinosaurs and all the, I don't know what they're made of these days, probably fiberglass. But I can remember all those dinosaurs and how cool that was, how much fun. I've got pictures, or we have pictures of our family, like my brother and me, with our heads inside, the mouth of some T-Rex or something, while we're playing putt-putt golf. It's great fun for the family. So,
was talking to a mutual friend of ours the other day that she and her husband had been to Destin, and she was telling me that they'd gone to play miniature golf. They've gone to drive go-karts. They done all of this kid stuff. And I just looked at her and said, how old are you? I've gotten to the point where my beach trip, if they even went to an arcade, these are grown people, Mike.
yeah, right.
If you got kids, if you got teenagers, that's one thing. But my favorite part of a beach trip now is to sit on a balcony and nobody bother me. I'm the guy that has grown. I'm the guy that sits on the back porch and hurls insults at squirrels now. And then I'm at the beach, I'm doing the same thing to seagulls. Because seagulls are just rats with wings, by the way.
They really are. They're quite bothersome, and it's all because we feed them, right?
Well, yeah.
You think it's so cool to have them come right up to you, and then
That's right.
when there's 75 of them around you, it's not quite as cool.
Well, the way you
I
knock,
start thinking Alfred Hitchcock.
the way you knock down the population, you just start pitching Alka-Seltzer to them. No, don't do that. I'm looking in. Don't do that.
Jason.
That is wrong. That is wrong.
It was just that one time.
It was well. Yeah, that's what we'll say.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff in the news, Mike. If you look at this, we found out this week that Ty Simpson, former quarterback at the University of Alabama, turned down between $6.5 and $8.5 million to go to Miami to be quarterback for a team that just lost in the semifinals. Check that. No, they're playing in the finals. They're in the finals.
Yeah,
they're going to have to replace their quarterback. But Ty Simpson decided that he was going to go ahead and go to the NFL. A lot of it had to do with a bad back, bad elbow, and they put him on medicine, and it was eating his stomach lining. They said for the last month of the season, all he could eat was chicken noodle soup and crackers. And now that's a rough deal. But Mike, I'm not so focused. I don't want to think about him coming back, not coming. That's not what I'm talking about. But as a college student, if you'll wind it all the way back, how safe?
A lot of winding.
Well, that's a lot of winding. How safe do you think it would have been if somebody had given you $6.5 million to $8.5 million to stay in college?
Well, now to stay in college, I thought you were just going to give me the money. I was going to say sayonara, see you later. But I don't know, man. That's a lot. Probably has something to do. I think there's no coincidence here, is that the Carolina Panthers exercised their fifth-year option on Bryce. Was it Young?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, their quarterback, who I guess he's been there 4 years. It's hard to believe he's already been there 4 years. This was his fourth year, and they did win their division and make the playoffs, but they had a losing record. The only team in the NFL playoffs with a losing record. But they just picked up his fifth-year option, $26.5 million. So when I heard about Ty Simpson turning down this 1 year, basically 1 year deal for $6.5 million, I can see that he's looking further ahead. He's planning ahead. Hey, if I can be just as good as Bryce Young, I'll be making $30 million in my fifth year. And this is college is at least not at this point matching it. But I hate to say it. I'm a huge Auburn fan. But I hate to see this happening to the sport.
It kills me.
It's just
there's no what made college athletics. The reason that they were so entertaining was because the money was always factored out of it. Yeah, you had rogue boosters and there was money that exchanged hands. We know that.
Yeah.
But now the concept of working as a team, working together, putting everything on the table, selling out for we instead of I, that's dead. There'll be no more of that. And the teams that do that well will be the teams that consistently win. And I think that's why we're seeing Indiana. That bunch has bought completely into the concept of team. And I think that coach Kurt Signetti, being old school, he was taught right, he's trained up right, he has foundational beliefs that he refuses to walk away from. I think that's why Indiana wins the national championship.
I heard him explain about why he always has a scowl, on his face. And he said, like at the end of the game the other night when they're ahead of Alabama by 35, when they're ahead of Oregon by 34. At the end of the game, I mean, he is the same stern look, I'm in charge. Nobody questions that, or nobody has any doubt about that. But you see this guy, and you think, hey, lighten up, man. You're up by 35. You're about to get into the finals. Well, that's just not his style. He has definitely bought into this idea that there needs to be one person in charge and one person responsible. And even though he obviously has a great staff around him, or he wouldn't be where he was, plus the players. But man, what a coach that is. He just said, look, I'm going to be the same start to end. You'll never know that we're down by 20 or we're up by 50. He said, I'm just going to be the same no matter what, because I want my team to see that. And I want them to realize that it takes 60 minutes to win a football game. You may be up. I mean, there's lots of teams that have lost games in the last seconds, or last play of the game even. And it's not necessarily because they didn't put out a great effort, but it's that focus. And that just reminds me of when my daughter, Hannah, who's a violinist, was growing up, and she'd be at some pretty big venue, and she'd probably be a little nervous, and I would just, the word I use all the time, to the point where when she was about 16, she said, Dad, don't tell me that anymore. I told her, I said, focus, baby. I said, focus on what you're supposed to do, and everybody will enjoy it, and don't worry about that part. So, I mean, I can relate in obviously a different sense, but I can relate to his thought process. But, yeah, $6.5 million, turn it down, the bird in the hand, but he's going to be an NFL quarterback and probably pretty good. Look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones played, 1 year for Alabama? I mean, I know he was there for the whole time.
He started 1 year for
Started 1 year, okay, and now he's in his fifth or sixth year in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And I heard people refer to him the other day as a clipboard quarterback.
Mac Jones?
Yeah. But he actually has played quite a bit. He was a starter for a few years for New England. And he's with Frisco now, right? And their quarterback, Purdy, he's been hurt.
And he played very well during the first part of the season. They feel like he may have gotten himself another starting job in the NFL, because really good NFL quarterbacks are hard to find.
And he's really a big guy too, Yeah, he definitely has the build for it and everything. But yeah, I saw that about Ty Simpson.
I just can't imagine a kid with $6.5 to $8.5 million living on South Beach.
Yeah.
That at that age, that is not an option. God knew what he was doing. He never gave me that option.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he never gave me that option. I don't know that he would do it now.
South Beach. I had a wonderful dinner at South Beach one night in a Cuban restaurant, and got a Cuban sandwich, with the ham.
It's
and
pretty cliche, yeah.
Yeah, it is, but it was. So anyway, listen, Jason, it's time for our first break this morning, and when we come back, we're going to have a recruiter.
Sergeant Addison from the U.S. Marine Corps.
That's right. Sergeant Addison is going to be here, and we look forward to that. So stick around, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Workout anytime, coming soon to Clanton. Your fitness, your schedule, and for a limited time, enroll for only $1. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our saunas, recharge with red light therapy, refresh in our hydro massage beds, get that glow with unlimited tanning, and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation. Open 24/7. Workout anytime. Coming soon to Clanton.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Mayhem with Mike Ellison and Jason Green. We're joined by our special guest this morning, Sergeant Camden Addis with the United States Marine Corps. Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on. I've heard a lot about this radio, so I was like, let me try to put a face out there and, kind of show the world, who their United States Marine Corps recruiter is for the area. So, again, thank you guys for having me.
Well, we're really glad to have you. Where are you based out of?
So I am actually, our office is located in Prattville, Alabama. But with me, I work with Shelby County, with Calera High School, and I also work a lot of Chilton County,
right,
and then also Elmore County as well.
Do you work with all the schools here in Chilton County?
I do.
Okay.
Yep. So all the way from, working with Thorsby, Verbena, Chilton, or no, my bad, Clinton.
Well, that's Chilton County High School.
Chilton County High School.
That's right. You're right.
Let's see. What's some other ones?
How about Jemison?
Jemison. Isabella, I work with.
Maplesville?
Yep.
Yep, okay, good.
I think that's all 6 of them.
That's 6 of them, that's it.
Yeah.
We're going to say, well, how about the others? I'm just joking with you.
All my schools, I work with about 12, 13 schools. So.
Oh, man, that's great. We appreciate your service.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
So tell us how you managed to get into the Marines.
Oh, absolutely. So, back in high school, I grew up in Orlando, Florida. From there, I wanted the opportunity to kind of go to college, but never really had that opportunity. Didn't really grow up, having money or having things in my life. So anything that I wanted, I had to work for. So, when that time came, I started looking at colleges, started seeing the prices of them, and I was like, I don't want to put that on my mom or my family. I don't want to put that on myself and try to pull out loans.
Right.
Because, to this day, my wife, she went to college, graduated in New York, with the bachelor's in business, and to this day she's still paying it off. So I was like, I knew that was not for me. And another thing is, it didn't really guarantee anything. Like having a degree is great, don't get me wrong, but it didn't guarantee like a job for you.
Yeah, I got a couple of them, so I know what you mean.
Yeah,
they didn't guarantee me anything.
So I was like, you know what? Let me kind of look into the military branch. My dad did the Army for 20 years as a airborne ranger. So I kind of was, looking there, and then, I couldn't really find my spot. And then sat down with the Marine Corps recruiter, and it was like, it felt to me like the first time I had a conversation about just me, not about what I wanted to do in the future, just about, hey, where you are today, where do you want to be in the, in that future for yourself? What does that look like for you? And then it was like, hey, let me show you this path. Let me show you what this looks like. And I was like, oh shoot, this sounds like me. This is something I want to do. I want to be a part of that. So went in as a 0631, which is a communications, with communications as a network specialist or network administrator. And basically all I do is IT, build routers, build switches, program them, and then set up Wi-Fi for, people. I mean, even for, this radio, like this is something I would do, set all this stuff up for them.
I got you. Well, that's just fantastic.
So how did you get into the recruiting?
Yeah, absolutely. So my first option I wanted to do, so I've been in the Marine Corps for about almost 7 years. So went to my first duty station in California, then went out to MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. And then I wanted a little change for myself, kind of switch it up, kind of give out that same opportunity to, kids nowadays that are kind of looking into the military but don't know much about it. So I put in a package and requested to come out to recruiting. I wanted to do somewhere close or in the East Coast. Florida would have been great just because I was from there. But I was like, you don't want to be too close to family at the same time where they can, see you every single day.
Absolutely, I understand.
So I was like, you know what? Let's do Alabama. It's about 7 hours away, and got Prattville, Alabama, and I just, feel grateful and feel loved here. Everyone is, very kind and kind of looks out for each other. So it's good to have a kind of that family environment.
There was talk, and we could talk about different administrations. It's really not what we want to do. We want to ask, we know that there was a time when recruiting across every branch of the armed forces was way down, but there's every indication that is flipped, that there's more folks coming in, there's more folks wanting to take advantage of the things you've made the most of. What would you say to somebody that is kind of in the same position that you were? Is now a really great time to sign up and become part of the United States military?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I tell kids all the time, right? Everyone watches the news nowadays, right? Everyone sees what's going on. And kind of to go back to what you were saying, like how it was different from the past to now. In the past, everybody was, for the country. Everyone wanted to join. And nowadays, it's very hard to find those type of people. And I'll say this, a lot of kids nowadays want to be able to go to college, want to be able to find that career for themselves, want to be able to do something with their lives, stay in Alabama, leave Alabama, wherever the case might be. And with, just military forces overall gives them that opportunity to do so. Now, a lot of people, right, I've talked to a lot of parents, a lot of kids, and the biggest thing they bring up, like I said, the news, things that are happening around the world. This is what I tell them, right? At the end of the day, the Marine Corps has over 350 jobs, right? 27 of those jobs have something to do with war. The other jobs are support elements, right? That's what I did. When I joined, I didn't want to be a part of any more. So I made sure to put myself in a position where I didn't have to be, but still at the same time having the opportunity to serve my country.
Right.
That's why I went into IT, right? There's so many jobs out there for kids, construction, welding. I mean, you talk about any, jobs that here in Alabama that provide, the Marine Corps provides it. When it comes down to like trades, being able to go to college, not having to pull out loans, kind of give them that opportunity. At the same time, apprenticeship programs to give people the hours to kind of get that job for them. Because nowadays, with people who are making a lot of money, right, in the world, you kind of look back at their background and somehow they always have some type of military background with them. And you try to kind of think to yourself, why is that? is because at the end of the day, you know, especially for the Marine Corps, we help you make you into a better person, and give them that opportunity to, you know, kind of have that future they've always talked about. Kids, buying a house, you know, you having all this money so they don't have to worry about, you know, bills or anything that comes with, you know, money. And that's the biggest thing I would say is, at the end of the day, do what you think is necessary. But what I would tell people is, don't make military a plan B, when you can literally make your plan A and B, because you have the opportunity to do both.
Is this your first assignment as a recruiter here in Prattville?
This is my first assignment as a recruiter. I've been recruiting for about, I want to say, up to 7-8 months.
Okay.
I was, you know, back in high school, I was very sports related, right? So I was playing basketball, football, whatever sport that was there at the school, I was playing. And then my junior and senior year, I kind of switched it up. I went into like musical theater, choir, because I just loved acting. I loved the kind of thing to present someone else and kind of live their life. So, you know, when I did that, I was had that stage fright. So it's like, you know, maybe the Marine Corps can kind of help me out with that. Went into it, definitely helped me out. And then coming here on recruiting, I was like, oh shoot, now it's like a whole big thing where you just have to be able to kind of talk, you know, to people nonstop every single day. So I appreciate coming out here on recruiting, and you know, not 1 second goes by where I regret my decision.
Are you able to discuss numbers with us in our county?
Numbers as in how many people?
How many people you talk to? How many people you signed up?
So let's see. I would say as of right now, I have about 10 to 12 people signed up, wanting to do it. Some wanting to go active, to get out of Alabama, or, you know, wanting to look into kind of the reserves aspects, to, you know, give them opportunity to find that career for themselves, but to stay here local in Alabama or go to college. But the amount of people that I talk to every single day, I mean, shoot, I probably make close to 70, 80 phone calls a day. And if that, you know, doesn't work, then, you know, I'm out on the streets. I'll be going to schools, doing class talks. So, I mean, you're looking at probably, I talk to maybe 16, 17 people, new people a day. So it kind of gives me that opportunity to try to reach out to everyone, because everyone has a different kind of point of view and outcome.
Sure they do. Well, I also wanted to ask about, you said that you've been doing it now 6 or 7 months. Mm-hmm. Do you go to, obviously you have your office in Prattville and you travel quite a bit, but do you also maybe set up a tent or something at, you know, some of our, like we have the Peach Festival here in Clanton. Were you,
so
how do you handle that type of an event?
Yeah, absolutely. So usually what happens is a lot of times we will reach out to those types of events, try to set something up with them. And then once we get the clear, there it was. Once we get the clear, we'll reach out to our Mac, who basically is in control of our like social media.
All right, Mac, you'll have to educate us.
Okay, so the Mac, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know what the
MAC stands for. Okay, well that's all right.
Yeah, but basically what they do is you know, kind of just set up our Instagram page, kind of our social media.
Okay.
But they're the one that kind of reach out and getting all exactly what they need.
So you contact them about it, and they work with you?
Yeah, so we'll be like, hey, we got this event. We need, you know, some things for it. They're cool. They'll reach out, be like, all right, hey, you're allowed a tent, some tables, some chairs, all these different things. We'll provide that for you. And if it's not that, usually it's just us, you know, reaching out to schools, setting up tables in the cafeteria, or if it's, you know, smaller events, like, you know, it's like the same thing you see at like Walmart, where they set some tables outside.
Sure, right.
And basically, like, that's basically how we would do things, is put our name out there.
So Are you working out of an office that is strictly Marine recruiting, or are you a multifaceted armed force agency that you're working out of?
So in Prattville we have like kind of like a small little strip, and then every office is kind of separated. So you have your Army, you'll have your Navy, you'll have the Marine Corps, and then Air Force is like in a different location in Prattville.
So do you ever come across situations, and granted you want the right fit for the right branch, do you ever come across people that you may not feel fit this mold, but you feel like they would be successful in another branch of the armed forces, and you put them in contact with another service recruiter?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We do that all the time. There's, I wouldn't say unfit people. The reason I would say that is not everyone knows the kind of standard of the Marine Corps, right? So I can't just go out in town and be like, hey, that looks like a Marine, because Marines are all in different shapes and sizes. So the biggest thing what I would say is there will be some times where kids will come in always wanting to join the Marines, but for some medical or physical thing that they have, they don't qualify for joining the Marines. If that being like a tattoo on the hand, tattoo on the neck, or different kind of things. So what we usually do is pass them kind of off, like, hey, I understand that you want to join the Marines, but how about this? It looks like to me that you just want to join the military to kind of help you out with those benefits, right? Help you out in getting you into a career for yourself. And when it comes to that point, right, benefits across the board are all the same. So, we will reach out to our Navy personnel, we'll reach out to Army. If they're looking for Air Force, we'll get a call of them or take them over to the office, so that way they can go into the office with them, so they don't feel like, we're just sending them away, but kind of like, hey, we're here to help you, because that's what we're doing at the end of the day. It's like,
True.
I don't want to push you. I don't want to push you away, right? I want to guide you into helping
Absolutely.
you get to that path for yourself.
Yep. Well, if someone were interested in speaking with you about joining the Marine Corps, or even getting you to connect them with another branch of service, how would they reach out to you? How would they contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have multiple ways. So obviously I have an Instagram. So a lot of times, kids nowadays like to go use social media. So I have an Instagram, SGT_Addis, ADDIS, _recruiter_USMC, which they can go in there and kind of follow me or send me a direct message. And then also I have a government phone, which they can reach out to. But the biggest thing that a lot of kids do nowadays is, with internet and Google, they can search up anything, okay, right? So when they try to search up Marine Corps or any military related questions, what would happen is it will direct them to a page for them to put in their information, and then that information will come to us saying, hey, they want to ask some questions to a recruiter, and then that's how we kind of reach out to them.
Here's your contact.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah,
yeah,
all
basically. Right. And then we try to reach out to them at a good time. Obviously, not like 7 o'clock in the morning, because everyone's probably still sleeping. And then we usually try to do it between like 12, which is breaks or waking up time for some people, but kind of give them that opportunity to have that phone call for them.
Sergeant, I'm kind of a numbers guy, and I know I already asked you one numbers question, but do you know what the Marine Corps, the goal is for recruiting for 2026? Do you operate January to December? Is that your?
Yeah, no.
Okay, you're not in a fiscal year. You're just in a calendar year.
Yeah, we work every Monday to Friday. Even sometimes we work the weekends, because that's sometimes the only time people are available now.
Well, that's what those events I was talking about usually occur on the weekends.
Yeah. So we will work nonstop to help any person in the world. Recruiting is a very demanding job, I will say that, but at the same time, we're here to help kids. Now, what it looks like for the future, I'm not 100% sure what that looks like. What I will tell you is, our goal at the end of the day is to help as many people as we possibly can, right? If that's helping one person 1 month, cool. If that's helping 20 or 100 people 1 month, great. right? At the same time, we're just trying to help out as many possible people as we can.
Sure. We are really glad that you're out there doing what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for being here today. We have thoroughly enjoyed this time with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me.
Well, again, we want to thank Sergeant Camden Addis, the United States Marine Corps, for coming in this morning. And we're going to go to a break, and we will be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you again.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
From all of our family at Wood Surfside Marina, we want to wish you a very merry and blessed Christmas and a happy new year. And yes, a pontoon boat does fit in Santa's sleigh. Are you tired of big box stores where you're just another number? You deserve better. Furniture that's built to last from people who treat you like family. At Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, we do things differently. As an employee-owned company, we take pride in personal service. We'll listen to what you need and help you find the perfect piece for your home from trusted, top-notch name brand. Whether it's a cozy sofa for movie nights, a dining set built for real life, or a recliner that melts the stress away, we've got you covered. Don't settle for less. Experience the difference at Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, where you're not just a customer, you're family.
Good morning, everyone. Back on the Morning Mayhem with Jason and Mike. I want to say good morning to a few folks that are watching and following. Mike Baker and Vicky Mosley, Brandon Osborne sends out get well wishes to Treese, and of course Ricky Graven, and my good friend Diane Calloway is watching. So
love Diane Calloway.
She's something, and
she is. Just a great family.
Well, she's a great public servant. You know, she's served all kind of roles. I think of teachers as public servants. You know, and
Very
she started
much so.
there, and worked her way up, so to speak. But
Too
good
bad
morning
she's married
everybody.
to Chuck, though. That's
Well.
That's turn your head, Mike. I'll take that. No,
Our good friend Chuck.
He is one of the most unique people you'll ever run into. They have two great daughters. I love both of those girls. Watch them grow up, and we pick at Chuck a little bit. He'll pick back too. So
Well,
just get ready.
You know, he's just a little bit older than me, but when I started coming up and growing up and started actually participating in, I guess I'll say adult sports, like softball, church softball, his church and our church, they were real big rivals, always fighting for first place, and so it was extremely competitive. And then I know a bunch of folks from his family that I competed with, Joey and Chris and those folks. I mean, I think they're just cousins, but you know what I mean. It's still Calloway, but he's really a great guy, and he's a good jokester now.
Absolutely.
He will definitely make you think about something.
So when you played church softball, what position did you play?
I hate to say it because I look at it and you know me. I'm not exactly a real vertical guy.
No,
right?
No, we have that same affliction.
So I usually play short field.
Okay.
I kind of roamed in the
outfield.
Right, wherever whoever was batting, left-handed, right-handed. I'd be behind second, between right and center, or between left and center.
I was the bless his heart guy. I was always behind the plate. I was the slow pitch softball catcher.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So
I thought you might be a good pitcher.
No, they wouldn't let me pitch.
Wouldn't?
I didn't much, but I played a little bit behind the plate. I really enjoyed second base. I was perfect for shortstop, though.
Well, that's why I said short field. What we call short field, the 10th player. Softball, typically you have 10 players. But I played for a long time, Jason. I always found something to do to try to stay active and sticking with sports. And when I lived in Montgomery and first started working for Alpha Insurance, I started playing. We got this independent softball team together. But somewhere in there, I hurt my elbow, and it just throbbed to throw the ball. So a friend of mine said, well, why don't you try umpiring? So the next thing I know, I was calling games, and then about a month after I started, Lagoon Park down there in Montgomery's got like 5 fields, and now they have another park that has another 4 or 5 fields, so it's still big down there, But I was down there, and they hosted a national tournament. I mean, teams from literally all over the country. And suddenly I found myself on third base. You usually had a 2-man crew. First, the plate, and he had plate and third, and the other guy had first and second. But I just remember getting out there, and they put me at third base. I had no idea where to go, what to do, where to run, what was I supposed to cover. About the second inning, had a play where the home plate umpire had to trail running towards first, And then suddenly the guy on second breaks, and I'm racing this guy for home so I can be in, I'm already out of position, but I'm trying to get in position to call, the safer out play at the plate. And so it took me a while to get into that umpiring thing, but I did it for a few years. When I came back to Clanton, I tried to get back into softball, playing second base at that time. But I remember I threw about the third game, I threw a ball, and it was like the old elbow just gave out again.
I've never heard of anybody needing Tommy John surgery after playing slow pitch softball, Mike. But well, there you go. Hey, to each their own.
Well, thank you, Jason.
No, listen. Can we just say that mine was not a stellar church softball career? I'll go ahead and tell you that.
Well, that's
we both had a good friend that was a local church league softball icon pass away. Ralph Cowart. I know that name, and so many people that have played church softball over the years here, they'll remember Ralph well.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you met Ralph, he was going to tell you that he played church softball, and he did so up until he was about 75 years old.
He said he played, for a long time.
And the first couple of years that he came to our church, he was still active and played on our church softball team. And he would tell you his batting average. Ralph was one of those unique people, but gosh, he loved church softball.
Well, he was. He certainly talked about it a lot. So it makes you think that he loved it. Send out our best to his wife right now.
Miss Marsh is over in a healthcare facility near Leeds right now. Traffic in the area clean and green right now, according to AlDOT Traffic. You'll have a few slowdowns as you approach Alabaster and again in Hoover, but right now it seems it's a pretty good drive in. Know it's rainy out there and slick, so be careful. Don't get in a great big hurry. And that's like falling on deaf ears right now because it's already
out of my way.
Peel your hair back fast on the interstate already this morning. Just be careful.
I always called it the Bimbo 500.
My dad drove back and forth to the Birmingham airport every day for more than 20 years. He worked U.S. Customs there and was port director, so he was in charge of the ports of entry there in Birmingham. But he would tell stories of women driving Hondas that they would be putting on their makeup, eating a sandwich, fixing their hair. Where that third arm came from, I'll never know. But they were driving with their knees. And he was just fascinated how they could possibly make it from point A to point B without killing themselves and everybody else on the roadway.
And driving pretty fast, too.
But knowing my dad, I always wondered, well, how did you know? Because you were sleeping on the way to and from work. So be careful out there. Pay attention to what you're doing. And now it's not so much putting on makeup. You throw in having to check Facebook and social media every few minutes in your text messages on your way to work. I love these programs. Hey, don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive. How about this? Just drive.
Yeah,
that would be a great program.
Idea behind the wheel.
Drive.
Well, how's that construction going between Calera and Alabaster? They're widening. They're adding a third lane, right?
Yes, on both sides. I was through there yesterday, back and forth to Alabaster, and it looks really good. They have made tremendous progress around the Highway 31 exit there in Calera. It's going to come all the way down, I understand, just south of that, maybe all the way to County Road 25 exit, that first Calera exit going north. So you wonder, though, it's really strange because the extension that they did in Alabaster actually made traffic worse. There's a bigger backups now going from 2-lane to 3-lane than it was. So hoping eventually it'll alleviate the problem. I'm of the opinion that they really need to focus in and start a major program at a faster pace on I-65 north and south because of the level of traffic that it carries. We're throwing money all over the state, but that is the main thoroughfare through the state of Alabama. That is the tourist course of travel. Let's really dial that in and get it right all the way through the state.
I've talked about this before, but I used to travel a lot, and travel all over the country. And, inevitably you talk with someone, you ask them, well, where are you from? Or they ask you, where are you from? And I would tell them, and they would say, well, when we go to the beach, there's a place there that we stop, and they would always talk about Durbin Farms or Peach Park.
Peach Park, yeah.
And, that was just these huge tourist attractions.
Absolutely.
That's what they are.
They
I mean,
are,
they're not
yeah.
just restaurants. But anyway, I would often talk about our water tower,
Yeah.
Our Peach Water Tower. And of course, I know that is fondly referred to.
It's the big butt in the sky.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and say it.
Okay,
this
go
one.
ahead and say it. You said it. I didn't say it.
You didn't say it.
Okay, I don't know if anyone from the FCC's listening. We don't want to get in any trouble.
They
with
don't
them.
have any governance over what we do, so you
Yeah.
can.
Okay. Well, never
Mike,
mind.
I know you're
then.
not inclined to, but were you to cuss live on air, you could get away with it.
I could?
You could, yeah.
Well.
It's like, Baden behind the scenes, he cusses all the time, but we don't let you hear that. But so
right.
anyway, he's
Yeah.
he's good.
We're seeing if he's listening now. As a matter of fact,
He's disappeared.
But-
You know what? We're by ourselves now. We can do anything we want to do.
we really
So-
can because what's he gonna do?
And he's back. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
He's like back in the day when you had the old antenna TV. It would be clear 1 minute, you could see it, and the next minute it kind of gets wiggly and fades away. That is Baden Little.
Yes,
you see him 1 minute, and then he wiggles a little, and he fades away.
Boy, that brings back memories. You start talking about an antenna. I worked. My first job out of college was with the Radio Shack, and so antennas were still huge then.
Absolutely.
I mean, they had antennas that were $100, 40 years ago. So imagine what they would be today. I mean, they would be 6, 7 feet, come in a giant box. Wow, it's just. And then you'd have the rotator. Were you guys rich and had the rotator that would rotate the antenna?
I don't know. If somebody else, no, we didn't have an electronic rotator. We had a Ricky or a Jason go out and check the. We were down there with a metal pole twisting into the ground.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know that. And
the
feeling.
problem was it only got really good reception if you had a hand on it. So when you're trying to watch the 10 o'clock news in January, it got pretty cold.
Yeah.
Out there. It was cold.
So you're no longer afraid to get on a roof then, huh?
No, I'm really not.
That's funny.
You were mentioning local businesses. There's local news as well. We found out this past week that the city of Clanton has decided not to go forward with purchasing the Alabama Power Building at Exit 205. Instead, Mayor Jeff Price says that we're going to look into building a new city court system and police station. Going to do that in town. Going to look for a place to do that and build one themselves. And last night, in Governor Ivey's final State of the State address, there's mention of a $400,000 grant coming to the city of Thorsby for water system improvements. I know the last couple of years, the water system at Thorsby, they have had breakdowns and breaks in service. That is a welcome reprieve for that water system there in the city of Thorsby.
Well, there's a lot of concern about what our pipes are made of, and is that part of that grant, you think, to be, I guess it will, obviously it would include
It'll
replacing
have to
some
be,
pipe. It'll
right.
have to be, that's right. $400,000, I mean, that'll do
take
it.
a plug out of it. It probably needs way more than that.
I was going to say, that'll do a block, maybe.
Local funds will go to it, but that'll make a difference.
Oh, yes, it will.
That
That's
will
right.
make a huge difference.
I was going to ask if you saw her. I don't know. It's easy to take a snippet of someone's hour speech and make them look bad, And she had a couple times that I saw where she said she was having teleprompter issues. She would start to speak, and if you've ever done this kind of thing before, it's. I've never used a teleprompter personally, but
if it's too fast, you're in trouble. If it's too slow, you're in trouble. And if it goes blank in the middle of what you're trying to read, it's trouble.
it's real trouble.
It's real
then,
trouble.
right?
Yeah, it's like trying to throw a pass in football. Of all the outcomes of throwing that pass, 2 of them are bad.
Yeah,
so you
that's
have to
right,
be careful.
exactly.
It's reading a teleprompter's the same way.
Coach Dye, that's what he always said. There were 2 things could happen that were bad if you passed it. So he liked to run it, and he was really good at it. But I did see that, and I noticed Will Ainsworth, as our lieutenant governor, was in the background If you ever seen the State of the State, it's set up very much like the State of the Union. You have I guess it was the Speaker of the House, although I'm not sure, and then the Lieutenant Governor, and then the Governor Ivey was in front. But I didn't really watch the whole thing. But I thought Ainsworth was going to continue in politics, but it looks like he may be trying to get out. I mean, he wanted to be governor, I know, but now Senator Tuberville is
that kind of takes any steam
probably
out. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Because the poll numbers indicate that Tuberville will win it. And now Doug Moore, the former Democratic senator from the state of Alabama, who was a disaster as a state.
Oh, he
was a senator.
Just got in
and
because
now
of Judge Moore.
Wants to be the governor of the state of Alabama, and that will go over like a lead balloon. There's a lot of analogies that I could use there.
Yeah, I like how you clean that up.
Yeah, I cleaned that up.
Put that lead balloon in there.
There was another one that I wanted to use, but we're gonna and listen. That's not even because we lean one way or the other. It's just you base this on track record. I'm really more about the person and the character of the person. But if you look at the poll numbers, it's clear that the state is going to vote for Tommy Tuberville probably 60-40, if I had to guess, as governor. Yeah, it's going to be 60-40.
Well, speaking, if I may continue about Lieutenant Governor Ainsworth, he was really a critic of Governor Ivey and her plan to expand, I think it's Highway 43 over in West Alabama.
Yeah,
from Mobile to Tuscaloosa, basically.
A black belt interstate system is what she was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Exactly. Which they don't really have. I mean, 43. I've been on that road before. It's not a bad highway, and it's 4-lane in a few places, but it is not 4-lane all the way. It's not limited access. It's just like Highway 31, and people can pull out in front of you very quickly. But I thought that was the best thing to do. I thought her reasoning for that was, well, how do we know what we can have over there if we don't invest in it?
And you've got great towns in West Alabama too. There's so many. Van and Wesley and I, Baden was on the trip, used part of that road on our way to McIntosh.
Okay.
And the towns that are along have so much to offer. Great people all the way through that area. You don't know what's possible until you put access in. So I understand exactly what she's talking about.
Right, exactly. And so I happened to spent some time in Linden this summer, and that's right off 43, and they're working on it. So the 4-lane is about a mile maybe out of downtown, and so that'll be interesting to see where that goes, because they're working on it.
I just know the teams that have to travel that part of the state to play sports, they'll be glad to have a better option of getting there, quicker option.
I bet they will. Although the 6th lane is needed. It really could be the entire highway could be Interstate 65. I'm talking about.
Well, when Eisenhower,
that 3rd lane could be run from coast to coast.
One of the most brilliant decisions ever made was when Dwight Eisenhower pushed to have the interstate system throughout the nation put in. But there was no way then to recognize how many people would own cars, how many people were going to commute and not work in the communities that they live. There was no way to know. So it remains one of the most brilliant things any president has ever instituted.
It's really something. It really is.
And but it takes an unbelievable amount of money to maintain, an unbelievable amount of money to upgrade. You sometimes, when you want to have something nice, and Mike, we both know because we deal with facilities as well. We have dealt with facilities.
Yes.
You've got to give the consideration to it's not always going to be like this, and let's make sure what we need can more easily be put in place to upgrade and to meet demand. And the interstate systems in the nation, they're not. The infrastructure, while better than anybody else in the world, more or less, based on the volume that they deal with, it's just not where it needs to be.
It's teetering too. Mm-hmm. Some places in particular it can get really bad. Well, it is time for our break, and we will be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you for listening to the Morning Mayhem here on Piper Pizza Radio.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984.
And welcome back, everybody. It's Morning Mayhem. Jason and Mike taking you all the way to the 9 o'clock hour. Thank you for joining us. Hoping that you're having a great morning throughout Central Alabama, around the world, wherever you are. We appreciate those watching live and listening in as well. And again, our thoughts go out to Teresa. She's trying to get better. And
That's right.
So
a little under the weather
You'll be
today.
glad to have her. She's much better looking than me or Mike. So you'll be glad to have her back. I am sure. Mike, let's have a little fun this morning.
Let's do that. Let's do that, Jason. I'm looking forward to that.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you pick topics of conversation.
All right. The first topic is overrated or underrated.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say one word or one phrase, and then you answer as fast as you can. Don't really think about it, okay? That won't be much problem for you. No. Okay, here we go.
I tried to think as little as possible.
All right. The first one is biscuits and gravy.
Underrated. That is good for breakfast or it is good for dinner. It is just good.
All right. Pickup trucks.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Love a pickup truck.
Underrated?
They're underrated.
Okay.
Now, listen, I'm telling you, it's either a pickup truck or an El Camino, the two greatest inventions in the automotive industry ever.
Do you remember the Ford, what their Camino-like vehicle was?
Oh, gosh, what was that called?
It's called the Ranchero.
The Ranchero. I thought it was the
Ranchero.
Ranchero. And now you can go buy one of those at Taco Bell.
I think they're different ones, but
Yeah.
I'm not certain. I'm
Probably so.
not a Taco Bell.
Or you could find
big
one in the
Taco
parking
Bell
lot
fan.
at Taco Bell.
How about Monday mornings?
Oh, gosh. The worst thing ever. Let's say they're overrated.
Okay. Does it get hot in here or something? I noticed your face got a little
Oh,
flushed
hate
there when I mentioned Monday morning.
Listen, Mondays are rough. They're rough.
it's just really another day. I know it's a lot of emphasis put on it, but
Well, it depends on what you've done on Sunday.
well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. How about fireworks?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say overrated.
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 Okay.
Now listen. I'm going to take a little vacation here in a couple of months, and my plan is to sit on a balcony and every night and watch fireworks. But I don't want to stand down in 30 or 40,000 people watching them.
Right.
I can watch them on TV and be very satisfied.
Be satisfied.
I think they're underrated. I mean, I think they're overrated.
Well, how about small town gossip? You don't think about that, do you? You don't ever hear
I don't
anything
know
that, do
that,
you?
I don't think underrated or overrated is fair. I think it's just garbage.
Garbage.
Mind your own business.
Isn't that something? How that can...
But well, come on, you know what I do. I'm a pastor.
Yes, sir.
So the most devastating thing in the life of a church, and boy, I've turned something fun serious.
It's all right. No, we're having fun with
Suck it up, Buttercup. This is the way it is. It's the gossip in the church, the gossip in the community, the gossip in the school, the gossip in our friend groups. There's a reason God tells us not to do it, because it never helps. It always hurts. So call it overrated then.
Yeah,
from that standpoint.
exactly.
It's just useless. Because nobody that tells you they know the whole story ever really knows the story. They just want you to think they do.
I think you're right. I think you're right. And oftentimes what they're telling you is just something that they heard, not necessarily that they got,
And added a little extra something too.
a little mustard.
Yeah.
There's been those studies, and they've shown that they can take a story, and they can tell one person the story, and then we want you to tell this person, and then by the time it gets 7 or 8 people deep, it's a completely different story.
Well, now though, that's the way the news media comes up with their news product. They take a little bit of something that's half true and turn it into a train wreck.
I was watching. I do watch different types of news programs just to kind of get that feel for what everybody's saying, and how this agency will report it versus this agency. And so there was one the other night that showed this gentleman, and he was one of those folks that it was he's out on the street. He's a reporter on the street. He's really not affiliated with anything. It's kind of like this Nick, I forget his last name, the guy that kind of brought to light all the fraud going on in Minnesota.
Yes.
What is that guy's last name? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but
Yeah,
he did
I just
quite a
remember
job
Nick.
on that.
I just remember Nick. But it's a guy like that, talking, and the big news media had reported that this ICE agent had just shoved this poor person to the ground. And then this guy comes up and says, but I have the rest, the Paul Harvey version, the rest of the story. And he showed this whole video, what happened, 30 seconds leading up to this agent shoving this person. Well, she runs up behind him and grabs him around the neck. And and it wasn't an affectionate grab, No. And it was just like, that is just like gossip to me. Look what happened. Because they wanted you to see this in a certain light versus here's what really happened.
Yeah.
And I guess
Man bites dog. kind of thing,
yeah, exactly. All right, my turn. What do you got for me over here?
One word answer.
One word answer.
Rapid fire.
Uh-oh.
There's one on here. Blondes or brunettes? That's not on the list. Never mind. No, Mike. No.
I was going to say,
brunettes, blondes. So
thank
you're good.
goodness my wife is, can
So-
change her hair if she needs to.
Purple. No.
I've never seen it purple.
Brunette with purple hair.
No.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Oh, tea. Definitely.
All right. Let's hot coffee or hot tea.
Hot tea.
Okay. Really?
Oh, yeah. I've never been able to acquire a taste for coffee. I've mentioned that many times. Our friends at Coca-Cola, I drink a Coca-Cola pretty much maybe a couple a day, at least in the morning. It's kind of my coffee. I've always looked at it that way. I've never understood a soft drink without caffeine. That makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm working on, I think this holds about 4 cups of coffee, and I had one before I left the house. So if you think that there is a typewriter somewhere in you, it's just my teeth chattering going on. Mornings or nights?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll just say I evolved into a morning person.
Yeah.
I was not a morning person like before I got a job and had to go to work every morning, and then it just kind of became a necessity. But yes, definitely. And I know I'm supposed to give one word answer. Sorry. Sue
I don't
me.
think either one of us is able to give a one-word answer.
I know I have to explain things.
Texting or calling?
Calling.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Dogs or cats?
That's another evolution. I'll have to go with cats. I grew up a dog man, and then a few years ago I got a cat. And that's that. Don't put me on that spot now.
I just wrote one down. You can't see what I wrote down, but I'm gonna ask it.
Oh,
Because of the two of us, I can't answer this question.
that's right. You can't.
Well, I could, depending on what day it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Children or grandchildren, Mike?
Tomorrow the weather's going to be 41.
Listen, I love Hannah. And by the way, daughter's getting ready to get married.
She is.
And I am going to be able to do that wedding. I'm really excited about it.
We are so excited about all of it.
She is one of my favorite people all time. She's quiet most of the time around big groups of people, but when you get her off one by one, she is hilarious.
She is.
She is. She's got the best personality. I just wish she would marry up because Luke is not. I'm kidding. And we start premarital counseling on Sunday with him.
I knew
So
you had mentioned
I'm
that to
excited
him
about
last Sunday.
that. Yes, we're excited about that too.
We're excited.
I love spending time with him.
Well-
But that grandbaby Victoria.
She just got her
is
second
pretty
report
special.
card.
Probably.
Or actually, would it be? Yeah, it would be second. Yeah, because it's already January. What am I thinking?
She was showing me.
They only give 4 out. These, back in my day, it was every 6 weeks, I think. It was six scoring periods or whatever they call.
She was showing me Sunday, Mike, how she is going to walk back down the aisle after the wedding.
She's already
She is
practicing?
a huge fixture in the wedding, of course.
Victoria.
Victoria.
I wish we'd have talked about this at 7:13.
I know.
She would have been listening.
No. Well, she is precious. She has gotten to be a little sassy though. So where does that come from? Is that from Raynette? You can tell the truth. Raynette's not listening. You can tell the truth.
Tomorrow it's going to be 41.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. But I'll say this about that. A good example was last night. I just call her Little Raynette. I really do. So last night I come in and I don't know, there's something cooking. We talked about cabbage yesterday. I don't know if you did. It's like a really hot vegetable for 26. These New Yorkers have discovered cabbage. Just kidding.
It's been around a while.
Yeah, it has been. But anyway, I was just going to say that that was something that she was cooking with Kaneka sausage, by the way. Oh, it was delicious. But anyway, I digress. What was I talking about? No, I'm kidding. Last night I come in, and so I got my daughter gave me I'm a big Seinfeld fan, and she gave me a mug that says, "These pretzels are making me thirsty." I don't know if you've ever seen that episode or not.
Pretzels. I do remember the episode very well. Are making me thirsty. So there you go.
No, you should just say, like, these pretzels are making me thirsty. But anyway, so I was drinking in my favorite mug. I had a Coca-Cola. And I still like to put peanuts in my Coke. Do you do that, Jason?
I used to.
You do?
Yeah, but I'm a man of that age where sometimes peanuts don't do well with my digestive tract. So
Well,
I long for the days of Coke and peanuts.
I had that, and Renette and Victoria had gone over to my sister-in-law Leanna's house for a few minutes and came back, and I was just finishing up. I really tried to time it so that I wouldn't get caught, because it's right before dinner. I shouldn't be eating a snack, So I had this snack, and Victoria comes in, and I said, "Yeah." Renette said, "Do you want to eat now?" And I said, "No, I don't think I want to right now." And I told her I had a snack, and Victoria says, okay. She calls me G Daddy, which is really great. I love that. And she says, G Daddy, she says, now you've gone and spoiled your dinner. And she says, and you've had a Coca-Cola, and now you won't be able to sleep tonight. And I said, Raynette, she is listening.
That is your child.
That is your you've done
made
this to me. But
so
there's your answer there about her. All right, so here you go.
Let's go to rank it.
Rank it.
Let's
All
do
right.
rank it.
All right, let's rank it. So you rank
Yeah, I'm ranked.
From the
Thanks.
best-
I thought I cleaned up before.
to the worst.
Rank best, or do we talk about the individual best to worst in each one of these?
I think you can add the individual
Let's
comments.
do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, what about gas station snacks?
Beef jerky and a Coke Zero are on the list, but if it's a really good gas station like Buc-ee's, of course they're not a sponsor, so maybe I shouldn't have said their name. But I mean that Beaver Nuggets.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what part of the beaver those come from, but they're good. But just a go-to, probably I would, because gas station food. Think about gas station food now. Gas stations weren't like this years ago.
No, they weren't.
You walk at a gas station and you get, there's some chips, there's the gum, and you've got the lighters and the Marlboro Reds back up on the back wall.
Yeah.
But now, which I'm convinced that the best pizza in the world comes from the gas station. Hunt Brothers Pizza is phenomenal.
It is
Love
really
it.
good.
Really good.
We have a local one right down the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hot dogs, of all things. The hot dogs at gas stations are much better than advertised. So it's hard, but if you're to say that, but if you're just going in to get something that is not healthy but not super unhealthy, Coke Zero and beef jerky.
Okay, all right. I think I may have misinterpreted this question, so I'm going to start this over. Okay, I'm going to name these 4 things, and you put them in order of best to worst. Okay, we got the gas station snacks.
Okay, gas station.
Fast food breakfasts.
Fast food breakfast.
Holiday foods. And road trip songs.
Holiday foods.
I was going to say that's got to be number
How
1.
could it not be number 1?
I mean, I'm turkey deprived, Jason.
Right.
Did you know that?
Are you?
I know it's hard to look in my face and see that because it looks kind of full. But we only have turkey twice a year.
Right.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I have to beg for Christmas. Thank goodness Thanksgiving is pretty much accepted. We're going to have turkey.
We're going to have turkey.
But
Please, let's
I
have turkey for
beg my
Christmas.
wife, please. And when we go to a restaurant that serves a turkey and dressing, guess what Mike's ordering?
Turkey.
That's
dressing.
it.
That's it.
Because I don't get it.
No.
So, yeah, that would be number 1. What would be your second as far as the best on that?
Fast food breakfast.
They are good. It's hard to beat
Yeah.
a good order of hash browns or a hash brown.
That goes back up to the top, though, the gravy biscuit.
Versatile.
Any number. And now they put gravy on all kinds of biscuits. Went through, I actually didn't go through it, saw an advertisement for a fast food chain. There's not one here locally. There's one just up the road in Calera. Not going to say what that is. But they have a fried pork chop biscuit that they smother with sausage gravy. I mean, can I just tell you, Aaron Ellison, one of our sponsors here, great sponsors at the Piper Peach Radio. I think he's got a banner up down at the funeral home for that particular breakfast. Eat this, please. That is a cardiac event waiting to happen, but it looks so good. I find it hard to believe that fast food breakfast doesn't come in at number 2.
Well,
What's your fast food breakfast order, Mike? Now you've got Raynette, so fast food is out a lot of times.
I've got to say that I became a Crystal fan a long time ago. Okay,
Fresh hot small square.
They have something called a sunriser, which is just a Crystal bun with an egg, cheese, and like a little piece of sausage. So
Okay.
that's one of my favorites. But I'm pretty flexible when it comes to breakfast, as long as it includes something like sausage or bacon.
If I need the wheels greased, so to speak, Crystals would be the stop for me. Seriously.
Road trip songs,
Road trip songs.
with Sirius XM, which I get a couple of weeks a year, for free. That's when I have it. But they have like a road trip station. And it's pretty cool.
Isn't there one called Willie's Road Trip? Or is that
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse,
Okay.
yeah, Willie's Roadhouse. Yeah, it's just-
Which is a whole different meaning now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But road trips, what's a go-to? What's a genre of music that you land on when you go on a road trip?
I'm pretty much a Southern rock kind of guy. Allman Brothers, Marshall Tucker Band. That's kind of what I grew up on and kind of stuck with. I read all these or see all these articles or watch them sometimes with these stars, today's stars that I have no idea who they are, what songs they
There's no
have,
good
what
music
shows
anymore.
they're on. I mean, it's not personal. It's not meant to be, to slight them in any way. It's just kind of like my parents would go, who is that long-haired, guitar player?
Hippie freak. Yeah,
They
I
didn't
get
know.
you.
They didn't know any better either. So I guess I've become that. But I prefer that kind of music.
It is a little known fact that when Mike was wooing Raynette, that he would stand outside her window, much to the chagrin of the neighbors, and sing "Fishing in the Dark." That's that you and me go fishing.
Well,
in
another
the
one
dark.
I like was called "Tied to the Whipping Post." So I mean,
Well,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
completely no. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
That's different. I mean,
That's a terrible image of what your marriage was going to be. when you
no,
think
no.
about-
That wasn't anything to do with that. It was
Oh, I
just,
got you. All
just
right.
it's just
Thanks for cleaning that up.
I sang it so well, Jason.
Oh, you sang it well. Okay, I got you. I was about to say, man alive, you've got some
That's why I
very
sit.
serious marriage issues.
That's why I sit up at the front of the church, because I don't want anybody behind me, going, "Who is this person singing
what is
behind
it?
me? Is he hurt?"
So, Baden, I want to know what do you think Baden's road trip song is?
You dropped a bomb on me.
Baby, I thought it might be "Chemical Romance" by Lady Gaga. That just seems.
See, that's another one that
Yeah.
I know who she is, but I don't know that
He's
song.
a big fan of Pink and Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Which really sounds like a couple of the people that he met down at Waffle House the other night. But that's beside the point. Let's move on from there. Anything.
Oh, this is great.
Journey for me is a good.
Oh, yeah.
Foreigner. Any of those. But that's rough in today's political environment. But you have anything out of the 80s and early 90s, late 70s, early 80s, 90s, and
Well, that's about our age difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's I like what I liked back then, and
so at some point, have you ever done the falsetto with the Bee Gees? Have you ever done the Bee Gees?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a disco guy, growing up. I don't know if I mentioned to you or not. Cleaning out our dad's place. We were selling his house now, but we were cleaning his place out, and I knew that they had these old shoes of mine somewhere, and we just hadn't found them yet.
Oh, this is so good.
And came into the last little stuff area that we were cleaning out, and sure enough, in this box, I found 2 platform shoes of mine that I had in high school, and a pair of Earth shoes. You've ever heard of Earth shoes?
I have.
Okay, and they're kind of like a little curve, for the toe there area. And I joke around. I tell people I was 5'11" when I was in high school. A little shorter now, compressed. But yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm going to wear them to church one of these days, and just
I need to see
for
this.
fun.
Well, so you had the 2 P's covered. You had polyester and platforms.
Oh, absolutely. I had those real flowery shirts. Those
that
silk.
open down to your belly button.
Well,
Gold chains.
no gold
Okay.
chains. But I did have puka shells. You remember the puka shells?
The puka shells. Did you have the matching anklet, Mike? Is what I would need to know.
No anklet. Even though I was a lifeguard, I did not. I did not own an anklet. But
see-
yeah, I found those shoes, and I haven't cleaned them up yet. But I mean, they're not like horrible.
Are they
but
black patent leather? Are they shiny?
Oh
leather?
no, they're not. But
they white?
So when you mentioned the Bee Gees, I'm familiar with them, and there were places that a teenager could go. Back in the day, there was a place down in Montgomery that would let younger people in so they could dance, and so that was always fun to me. I mean, I was a horrible dancer, but I enjoyed it, and met some interesting folks.
What a wonderful nostalgic trip you could have by sliding in a pair of those polyester pants and putting those shoes on. Just put a little Bee Gees on and wiggle around the house for Raynette. She would love it, Mike. And if you would get somebody to video that.
Yeah.
Because the rest of us would love that.
Is that one of those things that when they describe something going when it has a virus?
Yes.
Just kidding.
It would go viral.
Viral.
It would go viral.
Yeah.
Somebody gets sick off of it.
Well, what about you? I mean,
What's
that was just not too long before you would have been on the dance floor yourself.
For whatever reason, when I was little, there was no reason for me to really have a good idea who Elvis was.
Yeah.
But I remember, like 3 or 4 years old, I had a little fluorescent jacket that I called my Elvis jacket.
Okay.
And I had no idea who Elvis was, so I suspect it was a parental setup. But I did. I that's what it was. And I heard Micah heard a word one time when I was little, and I had no idea what it meant. And somebody asked me one day what I wanted to be at church. They asked me at church when I was little what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I told them very clearly I wanted to be a gigolo, just because I like the sound of the word. Now that I know what that means, still not such a bad option. But anyway, moving on.
Oh gosh. Well, we are here on a Wednesday morning. It's wet and kind of nasty out there, but the good news is it's going to get really cold here the next week.
It's going to bottom out tonight. They say after lunch the wind's going to start blowing, and that the temperatures will start bottoming out by probably 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. It's already going to be down into the 30s. So bundle up. It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold, and Taylor and I spoke yesterday a lot about we were talking about chill hours for our peaches, our peach crop, and how important that is. And the ones I've talked to, they're pretty optimistic. They love to see weather like this coming because they don't want their peach buds, opening up too early.
So they indicate though that they're in good shape right now, hours-wise. Mm-hmm. So, and it was a terrific peach crop last year.
Yes,
and
it was.
Barring any late season freezes or hailstorms, it seems that it's probably setting up for another good year for our peach farmers.
That would be wonderful. That'd be great for our farmers and all the things that people around it. So, Jason, let me ask you one more. Let's have one more little go with this.
Okay.
It's called Would You Rather.
Would I rather?
Would you rather?
Okay.
All right. Would you rather lose your phone or your wallet?
Phone. No question. Phone.
Well, this doesn't say just one word, but why? What would be make you say that over?
Because my phone generally starts ringing about 6:30 in the morning and normally doesn't stop going off till about 9:30 at night. I don't have any money, but the thought of somebody taking even what I don't have is awful to me. So absolutely phone.
Okay.
For it to get lost for 24 hours, I would be concerned the first few minutes, but after that, I think I'd be okay.
Right. I bet you would be.
Would be okay.
Well, what about, would you rather work in the mornings forever or would you rather work at night forever?
Mornings. I'm more productive from 7 o'clock to noon than I am from 1 o'clock to after that.
I think that's the way it is for almost everybody. Yeah. They seem to be more productive in the morning, then you go to eat lunch, and then you come back, and things tend to slow down for whatever reason.
There's so much prep that I have to do with what I do that by the end of Monday morning, about 11:30, 12 o'clock, I already have everything that I need to work on and prepare for the week. I've already got a start on all of it.
There you go.
And so the mornings are heavy, heavy, heavy. And what I find myself counseling a lot in the afternoons.
Right.
A lot of business end of the ministry.
But
in
you've
the
set all that
afternoons.
up in the morning,
Yeah,
right?
but I've set-
Typically
exactly.
in the mornings.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that when I think about it, I think about my son. He works at Publix there in the Alabaster grocery store, and he has the craziest hours. I guess it's because he's in management, but I mean, he can close at midnight, and then he has to be at work at 9 o'clock the next morning. I mean, it just doesn't seem like that would be really hard, and it is hard for him to adjust. But he's been doing it for 5 years now, so he just does it.
Pretty good organization to work for too.
Yeah, he really
Most
likes it.
everybody really likes when they work for Publix.
Pretty good organization indeed. So let's see. The next one I've got is I'm gonna try to emphasize this one. Okay. Mm-hmm. Would you rather sing everything or whisper everything?
I'm singing. I'm in a store singing.
You feel happy?
You know what? Honestly, I go and watch the old. There's a preaching style, and it's kind of sing song, and it's where you put an A on the end of everything, and it's really kind of rhythmic. It's almost like singing. I'll be honest with you. I'm at a point now that I have used my voice so much for so long that it's really nice to be quiet. So I think I'd give trying to whisper for a little while.
Yeah, I hear you. I was thinking that same thing.
Kristen's deaf as a post, so I might as well be whispering because she either doesn't hear or completely ignores anything I say around the house. So.
Well, Jason, we'll be back in a minute after these words from our sponsors, and we'll wrap up today's show.
Sounds good.
Thank you for joining us.
Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
From all of our family at Wood Surfside Marina, we want to wish you a very merry and blessed Christmas and a happy new year. And yes, a pontoon boat does fit in Santa's sleigh. Are you tired of big box stores where you're just another number? You deserve better. Furniture that's built to last from people who treat you like family. At Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, we do things differently. As an employee-owned company, we take pride in personal service. We'll listen to what you need and help you find the perfect piece for your home from trusted, top-notch name brand. Whether it's a cozy sofa for movie nights, a dining set built for real life, or a recliner that melts the stress away, we've got you covered. Don't settle for less. Experience the difference at Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, where you're not just a customer, you're family.
I was just going to say if you want.
Welcome back, Mike.
All right.
Mike, hey, Mike.
Back.
Mike dozed off. We're back for the final 20 minutes.
Normally we get
of
a
Morning
cue,
Mayhem.
a flashing light or something to tell me we're coming back, but I missed it.
Well, Baden is serving as our ring girl today, so ding ding, final round. Here we go. Oh gosh, she's an ugly ring girl too.
I know.
Handsome guy, ugly ring girl. But anyway,
Oh gosh. Well, what else is in the news, Jason?
well, a lot of the one thing that comes to mind is we know hundreds of students throughout the area will be piling on to church vans and buses and heading toward the mountains this weekend. A lot of them will leave Friday going up for the conferences that generally take place up there. STS from the Scott Dawson Evangelistic Association. So that we're going to have a lot of folks on the road this weekend. The threat of snow up in that area. So just wishing them the best. Hope that they have a fantastic trip. That they'll be careful. And that is an amazing thing when they go up there. They have a great time. They kind of lock themselves together for a few days. It's real exciting for, I think, pastors, for student pastors, for churches to see what comes from it, what seeds are planted and what grows from that.
Right,
coming
exactly.
back from that weekend. So our thoughts, our prayers with everybody that'll be on the road this weekend, and they should be back on Monday of next week. So.
Well, you've got Friday, I think, is an e-learning day.
Yep.
In our school system, Chilton County school systems, and then of course Monday is Martin Luther King birthday celebration.
And I'll give credit to the powers that be there at the Board of Education for working in that e-learning day, because some of them realize that Friday is an important travel day to do it safely. And I think they've leaned into our students and leaned into our churches on this, and we find them doing that more and more now. And I know our church tries to partner with the school and make ourselves available to do anything we possibly can to help them.
Right.
So when they lean back and they start doing things like this to help make this possible for our kids, I'm grateful for that kind of leadership from our school system.
And we have that. There's a lot of great things happening over there.
Absolutely.
With Superintendent Clements doing a super job, and I'm not sure, is he up for re-election this year?
He has qualified already.
Does he have any opponents
He
yet?
does.
He does?
He
Okay,
does, yeah.
so there'll be a contest.
There will be on the Republican side, yes.
Okay.
I have not heard of anybody from the Democratic side running for superintendent. I'm sure that there will be, but right now there are two candidates on the Republican side.
It's really something to have been around 65 years and watched the political, world change like it has back in the earlier days, or my earlier days. I mean, there were no Republicans. I mean, everybody was a Democrat pretty much. And then, stuff started happening, and we know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious to us, at least, why there's the Republican Party is as strong as it is today, and it's just because a lot of the folks, they really started listening to their fringes. Both parties have fringes, right? And they're extremists, and most of the time, the body politic doesn't pay attention to what the fringes are doing, or pays little attention. But seems like suddenly on the Democratic side, they have really started paying too much attention to it, and it's turning off a lot of people.
Well, and here's what everybody has to understand. You're going to have far right and far left, the extremes.
Right.
But most everybody in the country lands right in the middle. So sometimes we'll be guilty of listening, and this is what you were saying. We're guilty of listening far too often to someone that is way too extreme.
Or use a term from my day, pretty far out.
Pretty far out. I
Right.
mean, that's just the truth.
Yeah, it is.
that's true.
It is the truth.
Common sense is a beautiful thing, and it is indeed a superpower these
But
days.
we'll be talking more about politics, future shows as we get closer to it, and talk about who's running for what, and hopefully have a few guests on.
I probably won't, because after this, they may never let me back on. So just
Well,
to be
it's
honest.
been nice, while you've been here. All right, I have to ask you these questions.
Okay.
Tell me if you think these are real jobs.
Real jobs.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
I am.
All right. Someone who calls themselves a professional cuddler.
Absolutely real. Now, and I say this because, again,
Have you seen that
you
or
can
something?
see. I have.
Oh,
You can
have?
see this on anywhere. I actually rent myself out. To be honest
you
with you,
do?
and Merry Christmas. No, but I watched. I
Supplementary
watched
income,
a
stuff like that.
special on this, and yeah, it was on. So it was YouTube. So it was what it was. But there are branches of psychology and sociology working together where people come in and they just hold you.
Just hold you.
Yeah. And it's better to make an appointment than to walk up to somebody and say, "Would you hold me?" That becomes really uncomfortable by and large when you do that in Walmart. But you'd be surprised how many people take you up on it.
Well, you mentioned not knowing the person.
Right.
Happened to be at a Braves game several years ago, many years ago, with a friend of mine, the late Pat Drawn. Pat and I were over on business, and we met with some attorneys, and they took us to the ball game. And it was one of those first, opening day, very close to opening day. And it was one of those spring moments where it's 30 degrees with a wind chill of 25 degrees in Atlanta. You don't see that very often. You wasn't in Denver or, somewhere like that, but we were in Atlanta. And I remember Pat, he had a real great sense of humor. I loved him to death. And he said, he looked at this attorney and he says, "Melvin, I know you don't know me." He says, "But will you please hold me?"
Yeah.
I mean, it just cracked us all up because we were all sitting there like ice cubes watching them play baseball, of all things,
The coldest I have ever been was probably this past December. Not this past one, but 2024. And we were on a family trip. We were sitting in Epcot in Orlando, and it was one of those rare nights in Florida that it's down in the low 50s or 40s. It's miserably cold.
Which
'cause
feels
the
really
wind's
cold,
It's
or
really
much
cold.
colder there, doesn't it?
Had to go buy a coat. Had to go buy a blanket. I'm sitting there covered up. Kristen has wrapped me up because post stroke, I now get hot when would never have gotten hot before. I now get cold when I would never have gotten before, and I never know what it's going to look
So
like.
equilibrium
So
was a
she
little-
was all. That was miserable.
Oh.
I needed to be held. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say that. Yeah.
You needed to be
I
held.
needed to be held.
And she,
I'm not a guy that goes and buys hot chocolate, but I was dumping that into me at that point, anywhere I could find some.
do you think that someone who is known as a Netflix binger, is that a real position?
And get paid for it?
Yeah, it's a real job. I mean, that's what a job is, right? Most people work and get paid.
I like to have something on in the background when I'm working just because I'll lose my mind if I don't. So Netflix gets a lot of work. I'm going to say no.
No,
I'm going to say
It
no.
is fake.
I think you can do it for free, and Netflix knows it.
that's right. What about someone getting paid to test a water slide?
Product testing, right? That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
It would almost qualify as safety, wouldn't it?
I would think so. Yeah, I'm calling that real job. That's not the guy that has to ride the roller coaster first just to make sure it doesn't go off the tracks.
Yeah.
There, you think there's innate danger in that first run.
first
when you
run?
Think of it. Yeah.
I've never thought of it that way,
Yeah.
but I could certainly see what it could be.
Because roller coasters and water slides all sound good theoretically, but when you actually in the middle of them trying to work out,
You really got one shot, don't
you got one shot, really. Yeah, you got one shot. Physics is not friendly sometimes.
And this next profession, now whether you think it's real or fake, reminds me of I love to play golf. I don't know if I call myself a golfer, but I love to play. But what about, does someone get paid to dive for golf balls?
Golf ball. Yes, that's straight up yes.
Uh,
Again, I've watched special. They put on the scuba gear and they go fish all the golf balls out of the pond and they resell them for range balls.
Well, Jason, I didn't really
Yes.
understand this completely, that most golf courses, they frown on their golfers diving in the pond to get golf balls. And my 2-year ban at Timberline is almost over,
Well-
and then I'll be back.
Were you not wearing a Speedo when you did it? Probably would not have been as big an issue.
Well,
The Tangerine Speedo was the dead giveaway that you didn't belong there.
I had no idea. There weren't any signs.
Well,
no signs. So I thought,
why not?
Especially on number one. I don't know if you've ever played Timberline, but number one, I mean, I bet that pond is so full of golf balls. It's got to be. I mean, I know it's got about probably a dozen of mine over the years.
Coolest thing I've seen in a long time happen. You know, we lived in Timberline for.
I knew that.
And back on the other side of the tracks in Timberline, though, Pine Valley Drive is where we were. But I was coming home one day, and it was, you know, the sun beginning to set, and I see something coming right down the middle of the fairway, about 3 or 4 feet off the ground. It was a bald eagle coming right down the middle of the fairway, and everybody in that line slammed on its brakes because he was coming after something. And whether it was a rat or groundhog, whatever it is, whatever it was mincemeat when that eagle got through with it, because it was bam,
Woodchuck.
got him. So that was really cool because he was coming right at us, and everybody just slammed on the brakes. Right there, just past the clubhouse, he was coming right down the middle.
I've had some really interesting wildlife interaction on the golf course. My brother and I were going out. We drove out to my brother Ken. Some of you will probably know him, but we were driving out to watch Auburn play Texas A&M. And College Station, you know, it's 500 or 600 miles. It's a nice road trip. And I had worked a lot in Mississippi, and I had planned on taking us to a golf course the next morning. I think we left on Thursday night. So Friday we were going to play golf in Jackson, around Jackson, Mississippi, and at some course there. But when we got up that morning, it was absolutely torrential rain, and so we couldn't play. So we got on the road anyway, and we started out I-20, I think it is, running through. And as I was looking, I realized on my phone that, hey, it looks like we're going to have a good 5 or 6 hour window where we won't have any rain. So I started searching for golf courses nearby. And I found one in Delhi, Louisiana. It's about a half hour east of Monroe. So, and then we realized it was a state park, and I think it was called Preservation Point or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's a few miles outside of this little community or little town.
It's right off I-20, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not far from there.
Yeah.
And so, and I didn't notice it. My brother was noticing. He says, why are all these signs saying, you know, watch out for the black bears? Okay, watch out for bears. You know, be mindful of bears. So we go to this golf course. And, of course, it is soaking wet. And the lady says, y'all sure you want to do it? Yeah, we'll do it. We were just wanting to play. And so we did. And the last thing she says, oh, by the way, she said, there's a mother bear and her cub is, and we've seen it the last few days, so be mindful and, you know, stay away from them. Well, I was putting on the second green, and my brother says, don't look behind you. You know, he was telling me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, you're joking. He says, no, seriously, look behind you. So I looked, and about 75 yards away was this, I don't know, man, 400 or 500 pound bear on the golf course, walking across, and his little cub, probably 150 pounds, I don't know how big, following it. And it was like, oh my gosh, I've got to play golf the rest of the day thinking about this giant bear. Like if you hit one and it goes right off, a little bit off the golf course, you have to kind of step in the woods. It was, you know, it was one of these kind of golf shots. You know, you're looking back and forth thinking. And
well, let me ask you: did the bear have a picnic basket with him?
No, a picnic.
A picnic basket with him.
Nobody was smarter than the average bear.
Hey, I was playing with a buddy of mine. His name's Tim Childers. And Tim was a firefighter at City Birmingham, and he's a great guy. And we were playing Oxmoor Valley, the lower
Robert Trent Jones.
Yeah, the Robert Trent Jones playing Oxmoor Valley, and we were on the end that comes out near Shannon. That hole right next to the road, and a little bridge goes under the road. I know you've probably played it.
I played it several times,
but. Because it's kind of a lowland area down. There's a little creek and stuff.
It is.
Well, we got down there, and there's nobody on the course that day, which was really strange. But there was a flock of, I don't know what you call a bunch of turkeys, a gaggle of turkeys, for all I know. But they were standing there, and they were completely uninterested in the fact that we were there. And we were just messing around, and Tim teed up a ball. And I said, I'll bet you $20 you can't hit those turkeys. I bet you. And he goes, you're on. And he didn't think about this to begin with, but the thought that went through my mind in his backswing was, what if he hits one of those turkeys and kills it? What are we going to do about that? And he lets one loose. And it his best shot of the day, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
But it doesn't hit the turkey, but it zings right past his head. I mean, and Tim freezes, I freeze, the turkeys go everywhere except for the one that whizzed past his head.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
he's stunned. He's not moving, and he stood there, and he stood there, and he stood there. He was afraid to move. But all I could think about were these two rednecks riding back up to the clubhouse with that dead,
the dead
turkey
turkey.
on the back and trying to figure out an excuse for it.
Yeah, you that would have probably resulted in a permanent ban, Jason.
Yeah, I would think that
Did you ever
would've been
play
bad.
Montgomery down there at Lagoon Park?
I have not
Their golf
played, no,
course?
didn't.
They have a very nice golf course, city-owned golf course. And my friend Randy Edwards and I were down there playing one day, and we're coming up on this hole, and I mean, I don't know, this giant hawk flew over my head. It sounded like an airplane. It was really loud. And it just flew very fast into this bush, and I was like, what in the world? And then it was like a ruckus in the bush. And if you've ever been to Lagoon Park, and I know some of our golfers out there probably know this or can attest to this, but it is full of, they call them fox squirrels.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big squirrel.
big
It's got
squirrel,
black on its face, and I don't know. It's just a different squirrel than what we see, you know, up in Jemison, for example. And that hawk came out of that bush with that squirrel in its mouth, and that squirrel was fighting. It was not just giving up. And we sat there and watched that thing, and they had a nice tussle there for a few moments. Of course, the hawk did come out on top.
Oh, sure.
But right on the golf course there, it was just like another adventure. And it was right on the putting green too, kind of like the bear story.
All right, I was playing Frank House Golf Course over in Bessemer.
Bessemer.
You played Frank House
I
before,
have.
I know you have.
Last time I played was with Jason Mitchell.
Okay.
Yep.
So the crew in front of us, you had this guy that was playing he was playing Army golf. He was more to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right all day long. Well, he
Slice,
he
hook, slice,
duck
hook.
hooked one into the woods. And I can't remember what hole it was, but he duck hooked one in the woods. And when he hit one into the woods, his golf ball smacked into a hornet's nest.
Ooh.
We were on, it was a par 5. We were on the tee box and we were watching. You hear whack, thump, and he starts walking. The next thing you know, he's running for his life.
I bet.
They came after him like he kicked over a hornet's nest. It was bad. but we just sat there and we decided we were going to skip that hole that day.
Yeah, I bet you did. We'll come back to that one.
We'll come back to that one.
Well, I recently got into a hornet's nest and didn't realize it was underground. Have you ever seen the underground ones? I was doing some work and got into it, and I don't know how many times I got stung, Jason. I mean, I started running down the yard, and I probably, and yelling and slapping and whatever I could do to get away. It was, fortunately, I had a lot of. It was kind of cold, and I mean, not cold, but I had thicker clothes on, but I still got stung. I know probably 8, 9 times, if not more. I don't know. It was the worst thing I've ever gone through. I mean, it was like my hands were on fire after that. So I can imagine.
Well, you can do that out in the yard here. You didn't have to go. That's, and you don't see it till it's too late. You just run over it with a lawnmower, and it is.
I've done it many times, about 3 or 4 times for sure.
But a 20-ounce bottle of gasoline will take care of that problem.
And that's exactly what I did after that.
Wait till just before it gets dark. Turn it over.
I just let them calm down a little while. It was still light out, but it's still.
Well, they all come back before it gets dark.
Yeah.
But
I see
what's
what you mean.
a lot of fun is if you pitch a match in the fumes and watch it light up.
Watch it explode.
Boom. It's fun.
Well, we also have Wayne Bolton. I think he's a big turkey and dressing fan. We were talking about that earlier. He's listening and watching. Thank you, Wayne. Pamela Gore says good morning. So good morning, Pam. Hope everybody's well. It is 8:55 on Wednesday morning. Jason, what do you think about the upcoming national championship football game? The Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers.
You know, really,
can anybody stop Indiana?
I really kind of wanted to see Miami in it. I don't know why. I do like Mario Cristobal. I think I really do. I've never notoriously liked or historically liked the Miami program, but I do like him. But you look at this Indiana team, and they're just good everywhere. It doesn't mean that they're great any particular place.
Well, we
But
touched on it when we were talking about their recruiting, and they literally have 2 4-star athletes on their team that they recruited.
But
the
it's
rest
the
of them
whole
are less than that.
It's team.
It is team.
It's us. It's us against the world. And when you get a team like that gets on a roll and they get it put together and everybody accepts their roles, there's something special that happens. And that is Indiana. So it's hard to say, no, Miami's going to get them. I just can't help but lean into Indiana on this.
I know they have dominated 2 very good teams, haven't they?
And they are fun to watch because they're a team that wins the right way. They're going to play great defense. They're going to take advantage of your mistakes on defense with their offense, and they're not going to make mistakes.
It's a great point. I think Miami's playing with a chip on their shoulder, and that can be pretty hard to knock that chip off sometimes. And because there's a lot of talk about should they have gotten in or Notre Dame gotten in. Of course, they beat Notre Dame in the first of the season. So, I don't know. They seemingly got acting like they have something to prove.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put it past them to pull the upset.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be a very good game. But I've thought that Indiana was going to have very good games before now in the playoffs, and they've curb stomped everybody they've played, including the Crimson Tide. So,
Yes.
Hey, Mike, one thing I do want to mention is that we're getting ready here at Piper Peach for baseball and softball season.
Yes, sir.
And we
Coming
will have
right
some
up.
exciting announcements about coverage, our coverage of both baseball and softball coming up. There's still sponsorships available. If you'd like to get on board and become a sponsor, we're looking for the title sponsor. Last year it was the Garrison Farm and Home Center High School Baseball Showcase. We're looking for something like that as well. There's packages available. If no one's reached out to you yet, it might just be because we don't know where you are. Let Baden and Therese know, and they would love to get you on board with that. Lots of different packages available. Thing I'm excited about during the game this year, during the 5th inning of baseball and softball, we're going to have one of our sponsors is going to sponsor a student from one of the elementary schools there, and we'll get with you the details, but you'll sponsor them singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in the 5th inning stretch. We're really excited about that. Something that we're adding to that program. Get on board right now. There are a lot of different ways that you can make our ability to promote our high school athletes easier. And again, we are going to have a full slate of baseball and softball games covering the guys and the girls. We're excited about it. Lisa Robinson, y'all know Coach Rob. She's been around for a long time. She's going to come on board and may be working both baseball and softball with me. She is so knowledgeable in sports across the board. And she did a phenomenal job on volleyball this past year. Got to work regional volleyball tournament there in Jemison. She's got the right personality for it. So we're excited about that. And maybe there's going to be some dates that I can't do it. Might even get old Mike Ellison, the golden tones of Mike Ellison to come along. But listen, we're excited about it. We're working. We have a baseball schedule put together. Some of those games we'll have softball games filter in as well. We really feel like we're going to have about 40 dates of baseball and softball. 40 different games.
40 dates.
40 dates that will have. And that includes the county tournament for both of them because that's a lot of games in a really short amount of time.
Right.
But 40 dates. And folks, if you're looking bang for your buck advertising, lots and lots and lots of people listen to these. This is a good way to consistently reach people from now all the way through to the end of spring into May because we know we're going to have some playoff baseball and softball teams.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that's probably the best way to reach people is through sports, and the best way to reach them through here in Chilton County is through our local sports. And so we hope that you merchants and business owners out there will consider that and give us a call. Let us know your interest.
Hey, the sales team's
also
on
wanna-
the street today, so go make sure if they walk in, just make sure you really give strong consideration of what they're offering you.
Wanted to reach out to Glenn McGriff. He wrote us this morning. We were talking about your dad yesterday, Glenn. If you were
OJ.
watching, we were.
What a great man.
Because Corey Clemens let us know that there's a big grant that has been given to the elementary school down there, or intermediate
Yeah,
school.
the
one that-
annex,
Yeah,
the
the
OJ
annex they
McGriff
call it.
annex,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Taylor was saying they've just named it the elementary school now. It's not even called the annex anymore, but I think it's always been known that way. The sign may still say annex. I'm
I
not
knew
sure.
Mr. OJ,
We talked about him.
And-
What a great public servant he was.
and he trained his son well.
He did.
Because
He's a
Glenn
fine
McGriff
man.
is one of the best men you will ever meet in your
He
life.
sure is. Well, Jason, it's come that time of the morning where we have reached the end of our show today here on Piper Peach Radio. Morning Mayhem has been Jason Green and Mike Ellison. We thank you for tagging along with us, and I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday.